Welcome to Season 3 of the Get Out of Teaching podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Diakos. In each episode of this season, I'll be coaching a teacher around one aspect of their move out of education. You'll have the privilege of listening in on the powerful coaching conversations that move people closer to a life they love. So come along for the ride as we get out of teaching. Episode 4. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the show. And on today's show, I'm really pleased to be having a coaching conversation with Sally from Western Australia. Welcome to the show, Sally.
Oh, thank you. Thanks very much for the invite. It's great to be here.
So Sally's generously offered to be a guinea pig in this little experiment where we do a coaching call on the show, and you get to hear the outcome of that conversation. And then, you know, if you want to have one like it yourself, then you can find me on Facebook or wherever on the internet. I'm pretty easy to find now. And we can have a conversation like this too. So, Sally, before we launch in, do you want to just explain to the listeners how we know each other?
Yeah, so I was in a pretty, ordinary workspace at different points, and I saw somebody else write, "Check out. You've got to check out Get Out of Teaching," and so I did that, and then I did a clarity call. So from there, and then I was doing some study and went to Melbourne and invited Elizabeth out for dinner. So we know each other.
We had a beautiful dinner, didn't we?
Yeah, it was great.
Lovely. So we have actually met in person, which is unusual. I don't often meet people from the Get Out of Teaching Facebook in face to face, especially at the moment. So that was a great opportunity. How little did we know what a rare thing that was at the time?
Yeah, because straight after that, we kind of COVID sort of hit us, and we all went back home. So
yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's get cracking. What's the issue that you'd like to bring to the conversation today?
Okay, so I'm doing some energy sort of work around the show, and I've been working with a different group, and we did sort of like...
Well, just go back, because just explain a little bit about what that is, the energy work.
Oh, yeah. So part of my Get Out of Teaching plan is, I have since our initial discussions, I've created a little business, and it's called Heal, Lead, Teach. And what I do is I take whatever your issue is, and it's a 3-step process. So I've become a forensic healer, and part of that energy work is that you kind of invest in yourself, really. And, so my current investment in myself is this new space. Anyway, so somebody did a little reading for me, and the imagery of it was that I was standing at the top of a platform, and there's a slide in front of me, and it goes down.
So hang on, you mean like a slippery slide?
Oh yeah, a kid's slide, I think more, more of that sort of thing. Yeah, but it was those old metal ones that tried to kill us when we were kids.
It was hot when it was sunny. Yeah.
So that was there, and a sort of a black cloud halfway down, and I have a choice. I can either step onto that slide and go down and up and out, and do new wonderful things, but I've got to take that step. Or the other thing I can do is I can go back down the ladder and go back to where I'm safe. And my safe is my teaching job and my current life.
So tell me, that you said there's a black cloud halfway down the slide. Is that right? Yeah. So you have to kind of go through that?
Yeah, I've got to go down through that into this unknown. So I can't see what's on the other side. I can't see what it is. I have no vision of what that amazing opportunity is. But my heart knows it's an amazing opportunity. But I've got to take the step.
Right. So it's not really, it's a slide. Okay. And it sounds kind of like it's inevitable. If you go, once you sit down on that slide, there's no going back.
No.
You can't really turn around and scramble back up to the top.
Yeah. And there's a feeling of apprehension, but there's not a feeling of fear.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. And would you, if I said to you, that slide is not that slippery, that you could, go down slowly, would that make it an easier decision?
I don't think you can go on those slides slowly, can you?
We can do whatever we want. It's our slide.
Want and go.
Well, I mean, I guess it's your choice, isn't it? Because you're creating this visual of what that, like, she didn't give you a picture, did she? You imagined it. Is that right?
Yeah, well, she described it, and this is my take on her description.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if I said to you, actually, there's some little, those little stair tread things that you put on the top of the edge of a step, so that they're not as slippery. What if I said there's a few of those along that slide, so that they'll slow you down a little bit, so it won't be so kind of crazy fast?
Oh, okay.
Would that make it easier to consider?
Yeah, it's sort of. I think part of it was that momentum, though, of now you're on the ride, go with it, and take off and soar, sort of stuff. So if you put some blocks in there, you won't be able to go as high.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. All right. So actually slowing down the momentum of that process is not something that appeals to you.
Not really, no.
You want to go at breakneck speed.
Well, I want the best.
Yeah.
I always want the best opportunities, and I want the best outcome. So if that means going down that slide really fast, then that's going to give me the best thing. That's what I want to do. Okay.
And so if you're at the top of the slide and you decide you're going to go back down the ladder, go back the way you've just come, how would you compare that in terms of best outcome? Like, say on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is an amazing outcome and 1 is, it'll be okay, but it's not really great.
Yeah. So my life on that scale is about a 5. My teaching life is about a 5. I have a really lovely job, and I have an amazing opportunity in terms of my job and my daily, day to day. But it isn't in the amazing anymore. So it's about halfway down. So if I go down, I can go back to safe and easy and regular money and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. So tell me what the appeal of going back down the ladder. Maybe we can look at that a little bit.
So the appeal of that is I know I can operate on the money that I earn. I do 3.5 days a week, so I don't work full time. That's an appealing thing. I have some space for myself. I can still do my little business on the side. I can still do, my husband works shifts, so when he's home, we can spend time together. I have a long weekend every weekend. There's lots of those sorts of things that are pretty cool.
Right.
And I'm in a community. So in a small community that I teach in, everyone knows me. I know them. I have a great relationship with kids. So and their families, which is good for me. I like it.
So it sounds like where you are right now, at the, say, on the ladder somewhere or at the bottom of the ladder, is safe. It's comfortable. You're actually, sounds like you're liked and respected in that environment, in that community.
I hope so.
By the families, at least,
Yeah.
And it's pretty cruisy.
It is crazy. It is. And it's a good cruisy. It's not my teaching role is a really good cruisy. It's great. I know what I'm doing. The kids know what we're doing. We've got a great routine. All those things are lovely, And I have a job that other people would aspire to have, and I have a situation that other people would love to be in, and I recognise that too. And I'm not ungrateful for that.
Okay, but there's a big fat butt coming from there. So tell me about the butt. What's not like making your heart sing?
I like opportunity, and I like a little bit of discomfort, and I like new. I like new and exciting.
How long have you been in your current role for, Sally?
11 years, but I had a 2-year break where I did other roles.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So new and exciting. It's not like you haven't given this a good go. Like you've been there for quite a while.
Yeah.
And so it's not like that sort of shiny object syndrome where you're going, oh, look at that pretty thing over there. You're actually you've stayed there quite a long time. You've given it a good shot, but now you've got a sense that there's something else that could be better.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And so apart from the money, what else is holding you back?
Well, I went and did some level 3, so deputy role and a coordinator role, and it was quite violent. Like the situation was quite violent, and I had to live away from home, and there were some things, systemic things that I kind of, my heart struggled with a little. So I'm not sure that that's where I want to be anymore. Where before I had a go at it, I thought, no, this is me, this is what I want to do next. But once I experienced it, it wasn't quite as fulfilling as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure in terms of education if I want to go down that road.
So that this is kind of like the corporate side of education, like the
administrative,
getting up into the higher end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now that you've had a taste of that and it wasn't to your liking, there's still a sense that there must be something else. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and because I've had this before, so when this happened for me before, I was in high school, so I went from high schools into libraries into early childhood. So I don't really want to do another area of teaching. I think I've done it. And
So you've actually had this feeling before of, I know there's something else out there. Tell us about that. What did you do back then when you were in high school?
Oh, so I am one of those people that really enjoy studying. So I have 5 degrees around education. So I just go back and study. So the last lot that I did was a business leadership, a school business leadership, something like that. I can't remember the wording of it now. So yes, I've done a degree in business leadership.
Right,
that was my last lot. So yeah,
but all
very different to the practice.
Yeah, I can imagine. So but it's all education in the education sector.
Yeah.
Okay, and so this energy work, this sounds to me like this is kind of your adventure.
Yeah.
But that you're not giving it everything you've got.
Well, yeah. So I've launched my little business, which is great. And I have a web presence. I have a booking page and all that sort of thing, and it's beautifully done by me.
Do you have any clients?
No, I've got clients that I haven't got clients off that. I've got lots of clients in terms of friends and family and their extended network, but I haven't got anything off that side of it.
Right. Well, that doesn't really matter, does it? As long as you've got some clients.
Yeah, absolutely. But part of having your own business is that you don't want to rely on friends and family.
Sure. Yeah. But once you get out into the extended networks, their networks are different to your network. So eventually that's a really nice way to start that organic growth.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, I know my website is really just to validate that I say I am who I say I am.
Right.
That's kind of that's what I see the role. I mean, it'd be great if someone became a client via the website, but that's not the main purpose. From my perspective, it's really about kind of validating, who I am. Okay, so let's imagine that you did get on that slide. There were no barriers and you had to go through that black cloud into the unknown.
Yep.
What would be the cost of that for you personally and maybe financially as well?
Cost. Well, I don't know there would be a great cost. I suppose it's that unknown income, but short term we can survive on one wage if we needed to, but that would be short term.
How long is short term?
I don't know.
3 months, 6 months, a year?
Oh, probably 6 months.
Okay. All right. So time to get enough to get started.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. And cost. Well, if I wouldn't be severing ties as or embezzling money or anything like that and causing people not to like, what I've done. So in terms of emotional cost, there wouldn't be.
Yeah.
There probably wouldn't be many costs.
And so what's the cost of staying put?
Oh, it's the excitement cost. You don't have the excitement of something new.
Okay, so this is now sounding like this is now more about personal fulfillment than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you get when I say that to you? That this is about personal fulfillment?
That would be nice.
So along the way, have you felt that personal fulfillment in your career to date? Have you felt that?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
But now you've kind of exhausted those possibilities and now it's time to look for something else.
Yeah.
Progression.
Well, yeah, and I think you've got to look for opportunity, don't you? Like opportunity, if you're not open to it, it doesn't come. So, yeah.
Absolutely, I would agree with that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, so imagine that you're lying in your bed, right? You're lying in your bed, you're comfy and snuggled up, and it's early morning. And, well, it is there for you anyway.
Yeah.
And you wake up, and it's tomorrow, and you've given your notice at your current job, and you're about to embark on your new venture. You're at the top of the slide. How does that feel?
So I've quit. I've quit.
Yeah, you've quit. Yeah, you might not have left it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to lie in bed for too long, am I? I'm going to get up and get into it.
Okay, so you're excited.
Yeah.
Okay, so then rewind, go back. Yeah. You're back in bed. It's tomorrow, but you decided to stay at the bottom of the ladder.
Oh, well, just take a deep breath and start the day.
But you're not jumping out of bed?
Not going. No, not jumping.
Yeah, okay. So...
might have another coffee.
Yeah. So you're going to bring in an external disruptor to help you get through the day, something from outside, because there's nothing bubbling up from inside.
Yeah, no, not really. No, there isn't. No, there's not. There's not that. I mean, I'd still go and do my job and do the best of my ability, obviously, because that's who I am. But it's not making me, So I suppose an example is the other week we did the letter I, so the it sound. And so in the past I would have gone and frozen different coloured ice, and I would have, shaved ice, and I would have done this with ice and that with ice. This time I called past the server on the way and bought a bag of ice.
Right.
Same activity,
the
same outcome for the kids, but less prep time for me and less, that sort of thing. So
yeah.
It's just how it is now, It's not that I don't want the kids to have a great experience, and they did have a great day.
Mm.
But my heart singing wasn't as as it has once been.
And it sounds like you knew that actually you hadn't given it everything.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
And you just strike me as the kind of person who might want to give it everything. Every time,
yeah.
So a question I should have asked you at the beginning of this conversation, naughty coach, is what would make this a great conversation? What would be a great outcome from this conversation?
Oh, for you to tell me to get on that slide and go.
And I would have said to that, I'm not going to tell you to do anything. Hopefully I'm going to like you to discover what a good decision would be. So let's assume that we did have that part of the conversation, and we're now at the end of the conversation, and I'm looking back at my notes and I'm saying, okay, so at the start of the conversation, you said you wanted to know which way to go, either go back down the stairs or down the slide. So what's your take on that now? Where are you at in your thinking?
Well, I like the idea in terms of like that aha sort of thing. I really like the idea that I'm not giving it my all in my current thing, and I haven't recognised that. I know it, but I haven't recognised it. So that's great. I suppose what's got me. I'm sitting on the slide now. I'm not standing there waiting to go down. So I'm sitting on the slide, but I haven't taken that leap. I suppose my thing is because I've really only ever done education, and I know on previous slides that it would be education based, that I will have my permanency, I have my, and so it's just a matter of the slide's still in the same playground. This slide's on a different playground. So I've got to kind of work out, and I don't know the playground,
Yeah.
Could be full of teenagers smoking dope, instead of my nice, safe school department.
Could be. Could be. And how do you find out?
Yeah, well, how do you find out? You got to join them, or you've got to, I don't know. I don't know how to find out.
I read something the other day, or maybe it was a podcast, and it basically said, if you're going to fail fast, and then you can, go try something else. Yeah. So I like that idea of like trying something and then recognizing straight away, big mistake.
Right. Yeah.
And it was the idea that it's not bad to quit, that it's not bad to, being a quitter is actually a good way to move forward quickly rather than get stuck in a place where you don't want to be. Now, I'm actually not talking about your education job right now. I'm talking about what happens if you go down the slide.
Yeah.
So if you go down the slide and you're in a playground full of teenagers smoking dope, then maybe you can just quit.
Yeah, it's not for me. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But unfortunately for that, though, is that I work in a system that is very hard to break back into.
Yeah.
So I'm one of the few, my generation is sort of the last that has a permanency with the department rather than the permanency to the school and all that sort of thing. I have a lot of security where I am currently.
Right. So could you?
I'm not young.
Go on.
Sorry, no, I'm not young. So, and in terms of teachers, as many people who would be watching this would understand, is the older you get in education, it's not easy to break into. It's not easy to change when you are over 50 and female. There's a bit of a cycle thing going on in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Whether it's right or wrong, that's my perception.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me, if you were to, so you're over 50.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fear around that. Could you take a year of leave without pay? Would that be something that's possible?
Well, I would apply for it. Whether I would get it or not, I'm not sure. I'm not sure the department's stance is on, because I have permission to run my business. Like I've got filled that paperwork in, so I can run my business in conjunction.
Right.
But I'm not sure if you're allowed to take a year leave without pay if you're doing another paid job. I don't know. Right.
Okay.
So I'd have to investigate that, but that's a good first step.
Like, I mean, that's a one of those stair tread things. It'll slow down your plunge, in a sense. But I mean, part of me wants to say, "Oh, just go for it," But I totally get all the other reasons why that might not be a great idea, especially in the middle of a pandemic when there's a lot of uncertainty around for everybody. I think.
Yeah.
I guess one thing that really has helped me along the way, I had a conversation really early on when I just started. I just finished my coaching qualification. I was about to see what being a coach in business looked like. Didn't really know very much. That course did not address that at all, most unhelpfully. And they just expected us to automatically know how to go off and run a coaching business. And so I was in this situation where I'm like, okay, here I am. I'm about to do this, but I might just go and do a certificate 4 in workplace training and assessment in case I want to ever teach this course that I've just done. And I was talking to another coach. We had a 3-way coaching arrangement. So we didn't pay each other, but we all coached each other. Really cool and good practice too. Yeah. and he said to me, so tell me more about that. Why do you want to do that? And I'm like, oh, well, because it's plan B. In case I don't make it as a coach, I could go back and teach coaching, right?
Yeah.
And he said, Elizabeth, why are you working on plan B? And, oh, man, I was just thinking about that conversation. It was so pivotal for me. I'm like, why am I working on plan B? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I should be working and putting all my energy into plan A and making that work, and then I won't need plan B. So I guess what do you get from that, Sally?
Oh, well, so I've got a coaching qualification and the training one. So I've got many plans. So I don't know. It's what great advice though. You know, how cool is that to be focused in on what you want and to have that clear direction. I think that's brilliant advice. What a great coach.
Yeah, he was a great coach. I've just shared his wisdom with you, and I'm asking you,
great coach, Elizabeth. You're a great coach.
Why are you sitting there at the top of the opportunity?
Yeah.
When in your heart you obviously want to take it, but you're still thinking about plan B, which is basically to stay back.
Yeah. I suppose my logical, the logical brain part of me is going, well, you knew that you wanted to be a coach. You did the qualification to be a coach, blah, 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 and you were set and you could do that. Where my top of the slide is I can't even see, I don't even know where that playground, I don't know which little area even that playground might even be in. I don't have an idea of what that is. I like to think it's with my energetic work. Like I like to think that could be it, but it might not be. It might be.
Created a business for that. Like surely that's where you want to put your energy, at least to start with.
Oh, well, that would be lovely. Yeah.
Like you're doing energetic work. What do you tell your clients when they say, oh, I'm not sure which way to go? Like I've heard this idea of, where energy, where attention goes, energy flows. That's it.
Yeah.
So if you give your attention to your energy work, won't your energy flow there?
Well, it has done. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But you're not giving it everything you've got.
Oh.
It's part-time.
Yeah, it is part-time. Yeah.
So what I see, and we're going to wrap this up in a minute, but what I see is that you've got your part-time work where you're not giving it everything you've got, and you've got your part-time business where you're not giving it everything you've got.
Okay, so there's a real need to focus, to redirect and focus.
Is there?
Come on, coach, is there? Yes, there is.
Okay.
Yes, there is. Absolutely.
So I'm sure you've come across the idea, actually, I've got an even better analogy. There's an idea of chase two rabbits, you'll catch neither. But I think there's a better one. If you've got a magnifying glass and you're directing it on a pile of gum leaves and kindling, and you want to light a fire and it just starts to smolder, if you take your attention away from that and go to light another fire somewhere else, that fire's going to go out.
Yeah.
Because you need to give it the focus of the magnifying glass and the sunlight to make it catch a light and stay alight. And then you can start feeding it bigger pieces and, logs eventually. Yeah. And then when that's established, then you could go in search of the next thing, the next fire to light.
Yeah.
So it seems like your education career has really established and going well, and it's all happened, and now you're kind of a bit over it. I've lost your video, Sally.
Yeah, I know. I'm still here, though. I can see you.
Okay. Oh, well, that's okay. We know
telling
you.
Me my camera's not working, so I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. So imagine then if you decided you were going to give your attention and light this new fire, how would that be for you?
Well, it's like a deep breath thing. It's really light. It's got a really light feeling to it. I love it.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Sally. It's been amazing having you.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it too. Like it's been a really good experience, and all I can say is if people want to investigate a coaching option, then they need to get your clarity call and go that way. It's if you want to do something new, I think Elizabeth, you've got it covered. So thank you.
Thank you. If this is the kind of conversation you'd like to have, here are some ways we can make that happen. You can connect with me via my website, larksong.com.au, or join the Get Out of Teaching Facebook group, or send me a message. You don't need to stay stuck in a job that makes you miserable. I offer a free 10-minute triage call to people who are ready to explore possibilities for the future. So let's have a chat. You've been listening to the Get Out of Teaching podcast. Please share it with your teacher buddies, and for show notes and other resources, visit larksong.com.au/podcast.